Hi guys, how are you? I'm popping on randomly live today because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get live because I had a work staff meeting and I finished early, so I'm popping on and it's daylight still, which is nice. I've got no makeup on and I'm not feeling all that great because of hay fever. It's a lovely time of year here in Australia where we get the beautiful harvest season and it always sets me off without fail, and taking antihistamines has made me feel drowsy and yuck. So I am not feeling the greatest, but I have my coffee, and I'm coming to craft with you guys because I've actually been feeling really inspired and I have been crafting a fair bit. Got some essential oils going to hopefully help me. Hi Wendy, and hopefully I can see the comments, I think. So if you pop on, do say hi, say where you're from, I'd love to know. And I am going to share with you some exciting things. Today is actually a really exciting day for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators because, hi Jessica, today we got to, as demonstrators, be able to pre-order from the new mini catalogue, and we also got to start earning the celebration freebies. Hi Lee. So the celebration freebies you actually earn as a demonstrator placing a demonstrator order with a discount, but you still earn them. So celebration, if you're not familiar, is a yearly big sale promotion that Stampin' Up! Have. For every $90 you spend, you get a freebie. With Stampin' Up! You spend $90, but it actually only costs you with your discount like $72 maybe, if that's off the top of my memory, with your 20 to 25% discount. So you still earn a freebie, but it's only every $70 something to you. So it's really cool. You can start earning straight away, a month ahead of anyone else, and at a discount. Really cool. How are you, Lee? How's the weather up where you are? So this is a gorgeous catalogue, and it's partly why I've been so inspired. But last night I was playing with items from this gorgeous catalogue because we can't forget about this one. This one is our gorgeous Christmas catalogue, holiday catalogue, for lots of different events. And I thought, you know what, Christmas is only, actually I should know because I have got my elf on the shelf. My son's elf on the shelf. I will show you if I can get this to work. Ooh, hold on. Hopefully, I'm not good with this camera stuff. Hopefully you can see there's my little elf on the shelf today. Santa's coming in 22 days. So I thought, you know what, I should probably get finishing on my Christmas cards. So I got into that last night and used this gorgeous set, if I can find it. Let's have a look. One of our fabulous reversible sets with the cups and the beautiful matching dies, which you can see here. Now, something else that happened with Stampin' Up! Today is that, hi Lisa, hi Angela, is that they released what was going to be retiring from Stampin' Up! When this catalogue finishes on January the 2nd. So some of this will be retiring and some will be hanging around to come back into the next holiday catalogue, but I'll share more on that with you in a newsletter update and some updates on my Facebook page. But some of it has actually been reduced, and so will be discounted, the stuff that is retiring. So not all of it, but some of it. But something exciting is I made these 2 cards last night using this bundle, and this stamp set will be retiring, the Cup of Christmas stamp set, but the dies are sticking around. So I'm really excited because I got playing with them last night and they are so much fun. But I've also been crafting away, making a whole bunch of stuff because, you know, I had wedding and work and everything going on for the last few months, and I haven't actually been able to have time to craft a lot. So it's been really good for me to sit back and be able to use the new products and get back into my crafting zone because it really is my self-care and my relaxing. So it's been so good. So I've been playing with the new products. Someone asked on a live recently about making one with the new handbag die, and I made this one, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put in it yet, so I haven't quite finished it. But it's using the Coastal Weave embossing folder and those gorgeous pineapple charms, and I'm thinking about a little bit of a self-care package because this one's case of the catalogue and it says rest and relax, you deserve it. So I thought it was a good self-care thing. But what I'll do is I'll flip the camera around so you can see a bit of my desk. And could get some grip paper. I just had to clean my desk because it was terrible. I've been playing with pigment sprinkles and all kinds of messy stuff. So that's meant that I had mess everywhere. It was just crazy. Now, this is terrible. I'm just trying to work out where the camera is. I think it's here. Yeah. I need to get dizzy when I turn the camera around. So hopefully this looks okay. You know me and this camera stuff usually never goes to plan. Now I think I've got to flip it. So hopefully that's all good. That's worked a lot better than it has in the past. So I'm waiting for it to go wrong. Right, there we go. Hopefully you can see okay. So I made a few things. Now I'm going to quickly share some sneak peeks of the things I have made, but some are going to be very quick sneak peeks because I'm going to be offering tutorials and free card classes with sales in the new year, and I have started making some of that. I did make this one. I don't know if I shared this. This was for a class that I had in my home with my team member Jodie last week. This is using the Christmas Time Is Here stamp set, and we made a fun little card using some sponging and some water splashing and white embossing, so that was fun to make. But here's some other samples. We also made a little Christmas box using the Perfect Parcel. Hi Christina, how are you? Hi Lisa. So yeah, we made this cute little one as well. And let's have a look. I've cased a few samples of the catalogue. So I made this little card using the Eiffel Tower, which is from the Parisian Beauty, and using the subtle textured embossing folder, I made a little bit of a fun note card. And it was fun to work with the note card size for something a little bit different. All right, just mix that up. Then I had to make this because I love pineapples. Those that know me know that I love pineapples, so I had to make this one case from the, I changed it up a little bit, but it's case from the catalogue. So that one. And then I cased another one from the catalogue, but changed the colours up and made a bit of a thank you card here. I keep thinking it opens this way, but I've been making a few top fold cards lately. And then I thought I should make one with the hearts and the gorgeous new DSP. And I love this sentiment. So lucky to have a friend like you. And then I love this. Being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too. And then I made a fun little notebook thing. He said, I've got my words. This is the Pressed Petals journal? Something like that. But there was like one like this in the catalogue, but I changed up the colours a bit and made them a bit brighter. Added a different sentiment using one of the black labels from the Painted Poppies elements, which was a bit fun. So that little journal there was something just a little bit different. Do you know, a cloud went over the sun just then and it got really dark in here. But we've got terrible weather at the moment. It's blowing a gale, like I'm not kidding. I went to a staff meeting and the door, we couldn't even go in the office through the usual door because it was blowing off almost. Okie dokie, so what we make, oh, I didn't share the quick samples of the class cards. So I'm not going to show you the whole sample because I want to keep some of it a surprise, but this is one class that will be in January, and this is another upcoming class. So there's going to be lots of fun classes happening next year in an online format because it's hard to schedule stuff around my work schedule and Declan's work schedule and Elijah, and so I'm doing a few more online based things next year in 2020. So that's going to be really exciting and something really cool for my mainland and international viewers because I will be offering the PDFs internationally. Okay, so these are the two cards we are going to make today using the Cups of Christmas bundle, and these were actually cased. I was having a bit of a browse through the holiday catalogue and I think it was on the second page. Yep. So this lists all the bundles, and I saw these two little note cards in the front and I just loved them. I love the colours and just the whole thing. So what I did was I made them, but I made them in a bigger size and I added a couple of bits and pieces to make them me. So these are the two that we're going to make. Now I have cut out, that reminds me, I need a wisp of white scrap. Oh, we've got one here. It's all good. Actually, I might get a smaller one because we don't need a massive scrap. So I apologise if I've got the sniffles because it's my hay fever and it's not going to go away, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll make the green one first. I've got all my bits cut out. I'm just going to pop, we need the red dots but not those. So what we need to do is first cut out all our pieces. I'll pop the embellishments to the side. I have pre-cut a few bits. So first we want, out of the dies, which are here, you want to cut a candy cane out of Real Red, the one with the stripes, and then a candy cane plain white one. I've also cut one of the little bows out of gold foil. So we've got a little gold foil bow, and one of the tags just out of Whisper White. I've also punched, now this is called the, I think it's the Pretty Label or Story Label punch. I've just punched a bit of white, and you'll see why in a minute as we get through the card a little bit. Now we also need to stamp a shaded spruce coffee cup. We need to stamp on our tag, and then we'll stamp on our background as well. But we do need to stamp those bits so we can cut the cup out. So what I might do is actually just move my coffee aside, and we'll grab our stamp set. Now this is one of our reversible stamp sets. These are really cool because you can actually stamp both sides. So with this particular one, you can get a mug facing either way. Now there are some tips that Stampin' Up say. You can see here that they go either way. So we're going to use the dotty one. Now we want our handle this way. Now when you first get a reversible stamp, they do recommend that you clean it well, because there can sometimes be some residue left on there. Now also a couple other tips is that you need to use a lot of ink. You want your stamp inked up pretty well. Now another tip is that you may want to use your Stampin' Pierce mat for a really good impression. So pop that underneath your workspace, and then we'll ink up our stamp pretty well. These stamps, when you first use them, are a bit sticky, and that's just the manufacturing residue left on the stamp, but just give it a good clean and that'll come away. Just want to make sure that's inked up really well, and then we're going to stamp that down. Now I found, use even pressure, but hold it there for a minute to really allow that ink to seep through, and then there we go. So that is perfect. Now we'll put our ink away. Now what we want to do is grab our Big Shot. Now there's a die for each way the handle faces, so you want to grab the correct die. Now I will Big Shot, but I'm just going to Big Shot off camera a little bit because I don't have enough desk room. I've got stuff everywhere at the moment. Oh, sure thing, Christine. I did wonder if it would conflict with school pickup time. So I'm just going to place my mug in there and die cut it, which I don't think you can see because I'm pretty sure I'm off camera, but I'm just using my Big Shot, or you can use your appropriate die cutting tool, whatever you have on hand. The wind is so crazy. I wonder if you can hear it. So there's our die cut mug. How cool is that? So I'm going to pop that to the side, put my Big Shot away. Now what we want to do, so I've cut some pieces now. I have a metric standard size, A4 size top fold card, so it's just half my A4 cardstock cut down the middle. So whatever your standard size card may be is what you want to use. I'm just going to score that. Now I've got a basic black piece of cardstock, which I think is a quarter of an inch smaller than my card base, and then a bit of Granny Apple Green, again a quarter of an inch smaller than the black. So that's how I do my layers. So I can actually probably tell you what they are exactly. So this one is 3 7/8 wide by 5 5/8. So then it's 5 3/4 that way, and 4 inches that way, and then that's half my A4. So that's how I do my layers. Now I've done the same sizes, but with the basic black as the big one and Whisper White as the smaller one for my inside layer of my card. So now what I'm going to do is take a smaller piece of Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use this little stamp here in the Granny Apple Green, And I'm going to stamp over my background. I've got 2 stamps on my block, but that's totally fine. So I'm just going to stamp over the background. Now this may seem like it takes a bit, but it's worth it because it gives you a nice fun little repeated pattern. It's like making your own pattern paper. Really fun. So I'm just, when I do repeated patterns, I generally will start like with, I'll just see if I can, oh, doesn't want to do it for me. There we go. Hopefully you can see a bit better. So I start at different lengths from when I start the line of pattern. That way it doesn't look like so, it's random is what I want to say. So I'm just stamping tone on tone with our Granny Apple Green. Doesn't matter if the stamping is not perfect. We just want random. So I'm really excited these dies are hanging around because to me, I get the inkling that Stampin' Up! Might release another coordinating Cups of Christmas stamp set. We'll see. But I do love this set, and it was one of the first sets I had to have out of the holiday catalogue. So I hope you've all been getting lots of Christmas crafting done. I've got to write in all my Christmas cards. I haven't made a list yet, although I do have my what do you call it, wedding invite list, which is pretty much my Christmas card list, so I'll pretty much go off that. But I do need to get writing because some of those people live overseas, so I probably need to get onto that. My sister's a photographer and did some beautiful Christmas photos of my son the other week, so I do have lots of photos to print and include in the Christmas card, and I might include a wedding photo. Should be nice. Okay. There we go. There's our repeated background that we wanted with our Granny Apple Green. So now we can pop that aside. What we want to do now is stamp our little tag. So I'll bring in this so you can see. We want just an enjoy. So where did I pop the stamps out? There we go. So there's a little enjoy here. Just want a little block, and I'm stamping that in some Coastal Cabana. I hope wherever you are, you have been getting better weather than we have here, because it's not too great, I tell you. Hopefully that's a bit better. It's very dark. Ugh. Okay, so let's stamp our enjoy onto our tag. There we go. Actually, while I've got the Coastal Cabana out, we might stamp the sweet Christmas wishes for the inside. So here it is here. So I love to decorate the insides of my cards. Oh, what, 63 cards, Lee. You have done well. I'm proud. You're putting me to shame. So that's the inside. Now we can pop that away. May as well quickly, while we're doing the stamping. Inside I have also added some beautiful little flourishes. So I'm just going to stamp 3 of those, 1 in the top corner, 2 in the bottom corner. Now what I have also done is added, over my stamped bits, just added some Wink of Stella, and it kind of makes that green run a little bit, but it's super glittery and fun, and I love a bit of sparkle. Got to add a bit of sparkle. Just do some in the top here. You don't have to be perfect with it. Right, what we can do to make sure that's all done and out of the way is we can adhere this to our piece of black, and I'm just using some liquid glue. I'm a liquid glue girl through and through. I love my liquid glue. So then we want our card base, and we'll just adhere that to the inside of our card base. There we go. Now with our stamped piece that we did for our Granny Apple Green background, we can now adhere this to our piece of black cardstock. There we go. Now what I've also done is added some spritzing. Now I hope this pen, I've got two, I hope this is the one, yep, it's got ink in it. So I'm just using the lid and the brush tip end just to flick some black over the base of the card, just for some added interest. Now I've also gone and got some, which I've got here somewhere, oh there it is. This is the basic black satin ribbon from the annual catalogue, and I think this is so pretty. I'm just going to put that there ready, but what I want to do probably first is grab our label punch that we prepared, and I'm going to use this super fun Snowfall Accents puff paint. This is so much fun, and I will tell you that this is retiring. I'm just going to turn my heat gun in the background to heat up, so I apologise for the noise. So some tips with this is you want to give it a really good shake, because otherwise it won't work so well. Now when you open it, we actually want to do about half of this, or just under half, and you don't press this too much because a lot of it will come out because it's very liquid. So you want to go right to the edge. Now don't put too much, but don't put too little. It's kind of one of those things that you've got to have the perfect amount. Now it may take some practice, but that's fine. Look, I have mucked up quite a few of them, so trust me, it does take practice, but that's totally fine. I did have another bit of grid paper here, but goodness knows what I have done with it. Okay, now what you want to do is grab your heat gun, and then on the highest heat setting, I'm just going to have to move this because my cord doesn't run that far. Hopefully you can still see. Just circle the heat gun and you will see that it will start to puff up. It just takes a minute, but when it starts to puff, you'll see it puff really quickly. So I'll see now that it's not as runny, if I can pick it up a little bit. And hopefully you can see that okay. It's still getting there. You do have to put the heat gun pretty close, but don't worry, it's going to be okay. It's going to go nice and puffy and look like a hot cocoa. So much fun. If you're on here and watching live, I'd love you to share my video. I might even do a giveaway. All my giveaway boxes behind me, otherwise I'd show you what I'll give away. So please do share my video, because I love to share what I love doing and share it with others, and it helps me keep doing this and being able to share this with you. So love you to share away, so feel free. Now if you feel like you want a little bit more, I have done this a couple of times where I've gone in and just added a few more dots of it. Thank you so much, Lee, for sharing. Whoops. So because this is puff paint, you can actually, it sort of stays puffy, but you can push the puff down a little bit if you want. So hopefully that's alright. It's a bit uneven. I do prefer my original one, but I'm going to take the puff out a little bit because it went a little bit too high. Okay, so now you'll see I've got half of that done, but when you put it behind the little cup, look how cute that is. It makes the cutest little hot cocoa. So I'm just going to, oh goodness me. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to then adhere this. So I'm just going to apply some tear and tape just to hold my puffy cocoa in place for a minute. And then we want to decorate our cup. So what we can do is we want to pop our tag on some dimensionals. So I've got some dimensionals here. I'm just going to use some mini black ones because that's what I have out. So I've just got 2 of those on there. And I'm just going to adhere that about there. And then our little gold bow that I have pre-cut, I'm just going to stick on with a glue dot to the top of the tag. And then we've got our little candy cane. Now the easiest thing to do, I love my liquid glue. Something, if you like, you can use the fine tip glue pen. Actually, maybe I should use the fine tip glue pen. I never use it, so I should, hey. And just apply a bit of glue to the back of the candy cane in small amounts. And then you can stick that on top of your white piece. Now, what I also did, that'll just take a minute to dry. You want to close up your glue, when I can find where I put the lid just then, oh there it is, and stick the pin back in before it dries up, because it does have a very fine tip, and if you get glue stuck in there, it won't work. Hi Vicky, how are you? So once I've got my candy cane, I've actually then gone and applied some Wink of Stella to the red bits, just to make it a sparkly candy cane and a bit fun. And now we want to stick this to our mug. So I'm just going to use some glue dots, just keep it really simple. So we just want our candy cane coming out of our mug. Right, so now we're ready to rock and roll. So what we can do is we can stick our piece that we've mounted and stamped to our card base with some liquid glue or whatever adhesive you prefer. Can you hear that wind, guys? I hope you can't. It's like literally shaking the windows. Okay, so there is our card base. Now what we want to do is faff around with our ribbon. I kind of like to do a bit of a crisscross like it's a bow, like so. And then what I do, so I've got it like that, and this length of ribbon would be about 20-25 centimeters. Pop it behind your mug, however you may want it. You can just play around with it before you stick, so muck around with it a bit. And then what I have done again is just added some tear and tape over the top to hold that in place while we stick this up. So then I'm going to use some dimensionals, and I'm just going to cut the edges of my minis. I actually love the mini dimensionals at the moment. I wasn't like a huge mini dimensional person. I was much preferred the regular ones, but now I'm loving them. I love the edges of these too. They're so handy. So you just want a few Stampin' dimensionals on the back of your mug. I've got no nails at the moment, so I'm finding it really hard to peel the backings of the dimensionals off. It's driving me insane. Rightio. So, oops. Then we want to place that to the bottom left of our card. And there we have it. Oh, actually, no, there we don't have it. We've got to add some sparkles. So I'm going to add these red, you should see my desk, it's already become an avalanche of craft supplies. So I'm going to add these red rhinestones, which I haven't used much, so I was glad to get these out. I'm going to apply one to the middle of the bow. I like to do things in 3s or 5s, so I've just got 3 here. And there we have our finished card with our sweet Christmas wishes. Enjoy. So that's the first card. Now I'm just going to do up this puff paint before it goes all dry on me. Now we can make our second card, which is probably my favourite of the two. Not sure why, I think I just love the colours. So this one is using the crumb cake, which is one of my favourites. And I have pre-die cut out some pieces. Honestly, the house feels like it's going to fall down. Now, we'll just put... Honestly, I don't know how you guys can't hear that. So I'm just going to get my fine tip glue again, which is probably right, there it is. and apply. I've cut a couple of pieces out from the dies, so this one here and one of the cups as well, to create our mug. So this one isn't a stamped one, it's die cut, so you could definitely buy just the dies and still create amazing things. Like this one uses a stamp set a couple of ways, but you can definitely complement it with something else. So even though the stamp set's retiring, grab it now before it goes, but you can still use the dies. The dies are amazing. Whoops. Okie dokie. So then we want to stick that over the top. Now I have die cut the plain mug out of Real Red, and the stripes over the top are out of Cherry Cobbler. So there is a difference in colour there. I did spill some of that glue, but that's alright. Okie dokie. So where did I put the other pieces? Okay, we've got to stamp a little bit here. So I'll grab my scrap that I put aside. Now we have to stamp 2 of the flowers, and I'm going to get the inside. No, I need to, that's not the inside. This is the inside. Okay, so what we want is the Real Red, and then we're going to stamp these poinsettias, I think they're called. We want 2 on the scrap. And then before they dry, a tip I have if you want to colour these is just go grab your Wink of Stella, and the glitter from the Wink of Stella and the wetness of that will actually move that Real Red ink around, and it will help colour that poinsettia and give it some reddy pink tinge to it. It's really pretty. So that's fun. Now also while you're at it, I have done the inside, so I've added 1, 2, 3 poinsettias to the inside of the card. So 1 there, 1 there, and 1 at the top. Now before they dry, do the same thing. So add your Wink of Stella over the top and just colour those in. So you'll definitely want to go check out my shop. My online store, it'll have a list of all the discounted products that have gone up, because there's some amazing bargains to be had. Now we want the Merry Christmas, which I've got mounted in our Coastal Cabana, so the same colours as the other card, and we're just going to stamp that in the middle, like so. I did get a little bit of red ink, but it's not too noticeable. Okay, so I like to adhere bits as soon as I can, so that they don't get lost on my table or I adhere them to the wrong bit. That would be a disaster. I've got the night off and I'm home alone till 9:30, so I think it will be some craft time in order, because, you know, it's not often I get the house to myself. So I might have to do some crafty time. Right, so now I'm going to use this Wishing You a Christmas Filled with Love and Happiness. Now I might just adhere this on the back of this block, if it'll fit. I'm not sure if it will actually. Might just be a little bit too long. We'll give it a go. And we're just going to stamp this in Coastal Cabana, and we want to stamp it, so we're going to have to cut a strip out. So you want to stamp it pretty straight. So let's see how straight Kayla can get this. Oh, it's straight, but it's not. It's off center. It's smudged a bit. There we go. Okie dokie. Now, what other stamping do we have to do? Nothing. We've just got to stamp the background. So we want to stamp, this is our background to our cup. Now, actually, we want to do that after, because there's a reason, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm just going to big shot these 2 flowers here. There's a coordinating die in set for those, little poinsettia die. So I just want to die cut those. I've already pre-die cut all of the leaves out, and they're in Shaded Spruce and Granny Apple Green. Don't mind me for a second. I've got no table space left, so I've got to go onto my coffee table. Goodness. You guys are all very quiet today. I must be doing a live at the wrong time of day. You must be all at school pickup. I'm kid free today, so I get out of that one. Just for today. Oopsie. I hope you've all got some lovely Christmas plans. I'm actually working on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve, so I will be jam-packing a lot into a couple of days, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully it will go work out. That one's a little bit off centre, but that's okay. Okie dokie, so I've got that. Hi Renee, how are you? Where are you from? I don't think your name doesn't sound familiar. It might be just my memory, so I apologise. So we're just going to chop out our sentiment that we stamped with the trimmer. Hopefully, yep, it's all good. And we'll just chop it this way. And a nice straight. Hi Kylie, how are you? I was just saying it's very quiet and that everyone must be at like school pickup. I'm doing it at the wrong time of day because I've got a quiet day here. Okay, so then we've got all our pieces. Now we can start putting together our mug. So the first thing I want to do is get one of my poinsettias and stick that behind. I found glue dots were the easiest, quickest thing for doing this because actually, no, it's all good. I'll just apply that there. See, I thought it must have been school pickup time, and I thought you're crazy, Kayla. Why are you doing a Facebook Live at school pickup time? I should know. I have a school-age kid, but I was supposed to be at a staff meeting till 5, but it finished early, so I had some time, and I thought, you know what, I'll come craft with you all. And I had this stuff all prepped, ready to go. Okay, so there's our little poinsettias on there. Now, basically, what you want to do, I cut one of, you should see my desk, I cannot find a thing. Hold on, there's a pair of scissors here. I'm just having a sip of my coffee. I cut one of these shaded spruce bits in half, and then I've gone through and I've just grabbed a glue dot for each one, and then I've kind of just stuck them randomly behind. So you want to stick the glue dot at the front of your piece. So I'll stick all the green on first. The shaded spruce, I should say, they're both green. What am I talking about? So it just depends on how you want to bunch them up. There we go. Now the glue dots are sticking to my fingers. Now I've just applied 3 of these leaves, but that's up to the granny apple green ones, but that's completely up to you how you go about adding them. If you want some more green, then that's totally fine. Add one there. I just like uneven numbers. Can't be doing even numbers. There we go. Now what we want to do is grab our crumb cake card base, and then we've got the piece we used for the inside of the previous card, which needs a bit of a clean. Where's my chamois gone? Literally I've got piles of things all over my desk. Okay, so we'll just give this a quick clean because we don't want the granny apple green, we want the crumb cake. Stamp it off a bit. Okay, so get our crumb cake out, and what I did was actually used my cup, ink up my stamp, but then I've actually used the cup to determine where I'm placing it. So I know I want one about there. Pop the cup back, ink it up, So this just applies the more foliage behind the mug. So that's just crumb cake on crumb cake. There's a lot of tone on tone stamping here today. So then what I did was sprinkled some Wink of Stella, because I love my Wink of Stella. So I'll move the mug a bit and I'll just sprinkle some Wink of Stella over the background. Now you can add your crumb cake piece onto your Whisper White layer. And then fold your crumb cake card base in half. Now I have actually popped this up onto the background, so I've used my edges again. Mind you, I just got some dimensionals on my finger, so I'll use those. Oh, I just did it again. Getting them everywhere. Okay. So just chop up some edging. I do have a new packet of regular Stampin' dimensionals, but in all honesty, I'm just being lazy and not opening them. And I find I've got like a million packets of mini dimensionals open, so I'm trying to be good and actually use them. Okay. So I'll peel off all my backings. I have been thinking about a regular Facebook Live time so that I'm on here regularly at the same time. And I was looking at my diary last night, and Tuesdays and possibly Wednesdays are the only days that work for me really to have it regularly. So one week it may have to be an early, like a Tuesday morning Facebook Live. The other week may have to be a Tuesday afternoon Facebook Live. Or it'll be Wednesday morning. So I've got to decide what I want to do or what you guys want me to do, so that I can be on here at the same time, so you guys know when to expect me rather than these random pop-up Facebook Lives that I do all the time. So hi Tanya, how are you? So yes, I've been trying to sort out like an actual time where I can do Facebook Lives regularly, so I can say, right, I'll see you on my Facebook Live on such and such day. But I might wait till after Christmas when the craziness has settled down, and then I might put it out to you guys which day suits you guys best, because see, Tanya's taking the kids to swimming. Yeah, so times like this when it's busy for those mums aren't so great. So I need to find a better time. So now I'm just going to apply some more dimensionals to my mug. So I've put all my pieces together. Then I can stick this to where we've stamped our foliage. Just want to make sure we're getting it back in the right spot where we've stamped that. Now I've also added my sentiment, which we've stamped. I know, Tanya, but when, like, honestly, at the moment, looking at my diary, no time works, so I just have to go with something. Oh, I'm terrible. So I'm just going to apply dimensionals to the sentiment as well. Now, to finish off this card, I've got the gold metallic pearls. These are really pretty, and this is what they use in the catalogue when I saw this sample. And they've just added a little grouping of 3 to the poinsettias, and honestly, it's adorable. And I find that I haven't used these pearls as much as I wanted to, so I'm glad to be using them, because then I don't feel so bad about owning something I really haven't used. Actually, the center of this one is disappearing underneath, but that's okay. We'll just apply maybe 2 where you can see it. Okay, so that is that card. So we've made 2 cards. We made these 2 today. There's the 2 originals and the 2 I made with you. I was going to make 1 more from the new catalogue stuff, but what I'm thinking I might do is actually do that in a separate video, maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow, and share with you some new products that you can get now if you join my team, by the way. You can get all the new products from the new catalogue that you can't order from as a customer until January. You can add all these to your starter kit. So you get to choose $235 of whatever you like, and it only costs you $169 with free postage. It's an awesome deal. Plus you can start earning the celebration freebies. So So you'll want to do that, trust me. And you want to get in on the last minute retiring stuff and the sale that we're having. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget also, I have an awesome sale because it's my birthday month. I turned 29. I know it's last year of my 20s. On the 20th of December. So this month I'm having a really cool special where if you spend $50 and use the host code, you're going to get a packet of the let's just see if I've got, this is a very open packet, the glitter enamel dots. If you spend $75, you'll get a packet of these plus a roll of linen thread, because these are my two favorite things. And if you spend $100, you get these, plus you get, oh good, I found it. Plus you'll get one of the this stamp set for free if you spend $100 and use the host code. It's a really cool special this month for shopping with me. So you could go shop the retiring sale stuff, spend $100, use the host code, and get all these free from me. So really, really cool. I hope you will enjoy that special because I love sharing and spoiling with you. Also, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little crafty Christmas card create-a-thon. And I'm going to go and relax with my coffee for a little bit while I've got peace and quiet, and maybe watch some YouTube because, yeah, I'm just enjoying the serenity. And I'll get crafty a bit later. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please do share my video. I love sharing my crafting with you, and it helps me to be able to keep doing this. So thank you so much. I will randomly draw someone to win a little gift from me and post it on my page. So thank you, guys, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.